I remember listening to music on 45s, 33s, and they're also called LPs or long playing. And then along came cassettes. I remember I used to have to get off the couch to turn the dial on the TV to change the channel. And do you remember using one of these? When my kids first saw one of these, they asked, "How does it work? Where are the buttons?" Yeah, took a while. And then, maybe you had one of these. Hello? I remember the words, "be kind," "rewind." Then you probably used one of these, a VHS tape. I remember going to concerts of the Temptations, the Supremes, Little Stevie Wonder, Little Anthony Imperials, Sam and Dave, the Drifters, Johnny Cash, the Statler Brothers, and many more. And my 55 Chevy had a defroster, a small fan that was attached to the dashboard. When you would give it a little gas, the fan would slow down, and if you let up on the gas, it would speed up. Amazingly, it did work. I remember the first time I saw the girl I eventually married, and I remember the night I gave my life to Christ. And now a whole new set of memories started. These are the ones I built my faith on, and they are too numerous to name here. They include so many precious people. God is so good to have included them with me on my journey. The Bible is full of places where we're told to remember, or maybe it is written, "do not forget." Deuteronomy, which is the 5th book in the Bible, uses the words "do not forget" 6 times. The word "remember" is used 16 times in Deuteronomy. Chapter 8 of Deuteronomy has Moses reminding all that God has done for them, and that they are not to forget any of it as they move into the promised land. In Deuteronomy 6, Moses tells the people how to remember the commandments and how to pass them down to their children. It goes like this: impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road and when you lie down and when you get up. Did he forget any time? He knew how easily we can forget. Doing a search for the word "remember" in the Bible brings up 231 occurrences. I guess we need to be reminded to remember a lot. Joshua, who followed Moses as the leader of the Israelites, had one representative from each of the 12 tribes of Israel to get a rock from the Jordan riverbed and stack them on the side of the river so that future generations would be reminded that God dried up the Jordan so that the Israelites would cross on dry land, just as they had crossed the Red Sea. This can be found in the book of Joshua, chapter 4, starting in verse 1. So what do you have, and what do we have to remember? And what do we use to help ourselves remember them? Some of us may use photos or videos. Maybe we have so many pictures we don't know where to put them. Now, there are virtual photo books to help us store them. But how do we try to remember our spiritual memories? Although we may have times that were unforgettable, I think we don't count our blessings very often. It is so easy to get caught up in what we don't have than to be always thinking about what we do have. I think it would be good to remember each day the blessings we had that day, like food, shelter, life itself. And that may be just for starters. I realize that there are blessings I received that I'm not even aware of. Making a list of blessings may seem like a lot of work, but a daily reminder is not asking too much. I would like to close with a prayer of thanksgiving that I read years ago. I think it's worth repeating. Lord, I've been thinking wrongly about life. I've gotten into the gifts instead of the giver of good gifts. I want to become little by little, in my heart, one of the most thankful people on the face of the planet. I want to give thanks to you in the morning. I want to give thanks to you at noon. I want to give thanks to you under my breath, and I want to revel in the flowers, the trees, my relationships, and all that I have, and not obsess about what I don't have. I want to thank you for my salvation. I want to thank you for your word, for your spirit, for your good plan for my life. God, I want to be the kind of believer that would make it easy for you to smile down with holy pleasure because you see that I recognize that all I have comes from you. Take time this week to remember, and then take time to thank God.